Hello, and welcome to the second installment of Yalo's webinar series. We're going to be sharing some useful insights and tips for creating conversational experiences. In this case, I'm going to talk about bot personas. Now, bot personas are a fundamental part of the experience since they are, well, the experience in itself. When a user talks to your bot, they are living your brand through a virtual person. That's how important they are. A well-developed bot persona, will instantly turn any conversation into a memorable one. And we created a method that will help you design them properly. Right, so the first part of this process is creating and answering a questionnaire that covers some of the more humane characteristics of any bot. Through these questions, we'll be able to get some insights and imagine how the bot should behave, feel, or think. If you're designing bots for another company, make sure to bring them on board. It's important that everyone is involved throughout the process. And here are some ideas of what you might want to ask. You can ask what its name is, where does it come from, the age, what does it like, does it have any hobbies, any fears, how does it behave, what are its motivations, is there something it cannot say or do? Moving on to the second part, which is creating the personality. Now that we have all these questions, plus the business objectives that were defined before this process even began, we need to transform all this raw data into an actual quote unquote person. There are many ways and formats to create a personality. We like to use the following one. It's some type of personality chart where we can map out the personality's fundamentals. Take a look. It's actually a fun and flexible way to craft personalities. Make sure to experiment, test, and edit as you go. The final stage is setting the content standards. This is where you define specific traits and styles that will help the bot communicate properly. There are many things that you can add to this list, but I want to share some of the most important aspects of a content style guide. Now, the first thing you need to look into is key terms. Define which and how terms should be used consistently. Are there any keywords your customer want to use? Is there a way to create brand awareness through specific words or phrases? Now, emojis are a tricky business. Use too little of them and conversation might not feel as natural as you need it to. But you use too many of them and you will seem like a clown. So ask yourself, do they help clarify the information? Do they help the user read easier to find the important information first? The third stage is grammar and usage. Make sure you establish how to use punctuation, capitalization, and symbols like the ampersand in your textual interfaces. Think in terms of face-to-face conversations. It's not the same writing an article that people will read than imitate a face-to-face conversation. So think, how do people really speak when they're talking to another human? Number four is rich content. Rich content, well, it's a great way to improve the whole experience. It can be used to generate more engagement or even sell some stuff. Elements like GIFs, videos, images, UI elements, you name it. Finally, there are copywriting variations or random states that you can use to make the bot more human. Make sure to think about how are you going to use them, if they add any value to the conversation, and on which states do you want to implement variations. Here's a quick list of where you could apply some of these. Greetings, success, it's when a job is done. Help, someone asks for help. Introductions, message errors, reprompts, small talk, tutorials. There are a lot of states where you can use variations, and the more, the merrier. And yeah, well, feel free to add any element according to your bot's needs and channel. This is just a quick startup guide to get you up and running. And well, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time very soon. Goodbye.